In this video I hope to show you how to set up your Windows box to develop for Android. I'll step you through all the different steps that you need to do, but it's actually quite simple. Step number one, we have to figure out which box this computer is. One of two questions will be, is it a 32-bit, sometimes called x86 box, or a 64-bit box? How do we do that? Well, first you want to go to your desktop and look for a computer icon called This PC or My Computer, or This Computer. You're going to right click on it and choose Properties. Now once you do that, you will get a similar window to what I'm getting. It might be a little bit different, but what you're looking for is something where it says either 64-bit operating system around the version that you're looking for, or 32-bit version, or perhaps it doesn't say. If it does not say, it's 32-bit version. If it's Windows 7 or 8, it will look like this. If it's Vista or XP, it will look slightly different, but you will see the words 64-bit or 32-bit. Again, if you do not see anything at all and you've checked everywhere, it's probably 32-bit. Now, you don't have this icon, you tell me. No problem. There's a couple of different ways to get it, depending on your computer. If I right-click on this desktop and I choose Personalize, you might see Properties. We're going to head and click on it. You're going to get the option to either choose what you're going to see next or choose Change Desktop Items. I'm going to choose Change Desktop Items, and you will see a screen similar to this. Again, if you're on an older computer and you right-click here and go Properties, you might also see a screen similar to this. We are trying to get this checkbox on the computer or My Computer to come in there. Once this checkbox is checked, and you click on OK, you will see the icon on the left-hand side that I'm showing you here. Again, right-clicking on and going Properties will let you know whether you have a 32-bit or 64. Remember what choice you have. In this case, I have 64-bit, but it's different for you maybe. Alright, now go on the internet and we're going to go to the first link. developer.android.com/SDK, Software Development Kit. Going there will let us go to a page that looks like this. On the bottom right on this particular page, you're going to get the option to download the SDK. ADT Bundle for Windows. Go ahead and click on that. Go ahead and scroll down to where you can choose not only to agree to the terms, conditions, which you must to download the software, but also which version of the computer you have. If you have 64-bit, choose 64-bit, otherwise choose 32-bit. Click on it and save it onto your desktop. I choose a directory called Android. It will be useful for next time. Now go ahead and choose the next step. We need to find the latest version of Java. Now you may have Java installed, but it's perfectly fine to install the latest version by following the following options. Search on Google or Bing or Yahoo for Java JDK 1.7. JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Doing so will give you a link that looks very similar to this. The first one is the correct one, from Oracle. When you click on that, you will get a page that looks like this. Simply scroll down, choose to accept up here the license agreement. Once it says thank you, scroll down to the first of the options where it says either Windows x86, again that's 32-bit, or Windows x64. Notice that the name for the 32-bit is also i586, or ends with that. The x84 is always called x84 no matter what we do. Go ahead and click on the right link for you, x64 for me, and save it into the same Android directory. And click on Save. I've already done so, so I will not do so. In this directory, we're going to have now two files. I have three because I've chosen to download the 32-bit version and the 64-bit version. You can do the same, but choose the one that's right for you. If you get any kind of error, choose the other one. Now, what's funny is it's easy to understand what to do with the Java. Just choose the right one, double-click on it, and follow the next kind of convention until you finish installing it. Everything default is fine. On my situation, for example, it'll tell me, you've already installed it. Would you like to reinstall it? Well, I don't. But you will not get that screen if you haven't installed it already. If you have, you can skip it. You've completed this task. Go ahead and pause if you're following along on your computer. Now, once you're back, and now you're going to get an ADT bundle. Now, if you double-click on it, because it's a zip file, it will open up on your computer, and you'll be able to see the content of it. Now, if you have WinZip or 7-zip, as I do, you can right-click on it and choose to extract here. Now, I don't have that. I have that already extracted, and you will see a directory like this. If you don't, and Windows Zip or 7-zip has some troubles with it, as I've seen sometimes have it, simply double-click on it, on the zip file, choose these three directories, and open up the directory one more time. I know it sounds redundant what I'm doing, but trust me, you'll need to do this. Grab the directories Eclipse SDK and SDK Manager, which you will see. You will not see this directory here. Drag them to the original Android directory. Alright, you now have the zip file in that Android directory and the three files we need. We can close this. Now we've installed Java. We've installed our SDK, our Android SDK, which includes three things that we need. Not to worry about it. What we really need is inside here called Eclipse. Double click on that, and this is the program eclipse.exe. Should you wish to, you can right click on it and perhaps create a shortcut which will allow you to simply drag it to your desktop. This is convenient to make it easier to find. Otherwise, follow the process of going to your Android directory, Eclipse, and choosing eclipse.exe. Now, starting it gives us to our next option, your phone. Just making your phone into a developer mode, which I'll talk in a minute, isn't enough. You need to install the driver and of course tell your project that you need to. For the purpose of this shortcut, I will go ahead and start Eclipse right now so that I can get to the next step in just 1 second. You can do so the same, but you still need to do one more step before that. Tell your phone that you need to be in developer mode. Now some phones already come in developer mode, so don't be surprised if you see this. I've Googled Galaxy S4 developer mode on Google and found this particular link, which seems to do the job. I went ahead and went down to the options of About and the settings, and noticed that between System Update and About, somewhere around here, there was no developer mode. In this case, an example there is, but if you don't, look under Security. If it's still not there, then this is one of the options you can do. In some computers, you need to go to the About, find the build version. Now, even though it doesn't look like you can click on it, you can click on it several times. Now, it looks like still you can't click on it, and I do mean several. I mean more than 7. So go ahead and click on it like a madman or madwoman, and you will see the little icon saying developer mode has been enabled. If you don't, you might already have it enabled. Regardless, press back and look for it under Security, or in this situation at the very top of the particular screen that we're looking at. Now, if you look at the very top, we have the words developer mode in this particular example. We're going to click on it and check one last thing, which I've seen some people not have on. The developer options have to be on, so click on, and go ahead and find the USB debugging. This has to be checked, and it might already be checked, but if it's not, go ahead and do so. Alright, your phone is ready. The next thing we have to do is find Galaxy S4, in my example, your particular phone, in your example, ADB driver. Now, the driver sometimes is already installed, so you can try this, but if you're having some difficulties, find something like this that will give you the driver you're looking for. These XDA developers are a very good resource, although Samsung, of course, in this situation would be a better one. If this particular driver does not get you what you need and you're having difficulty in following the next step we're about to show you, try the XDA developers, xda-developers.com. After you've searched something, if they come up right, it's usually a good example of a great driver. Here we are in Eclipse. Now, one of the things that you might see in this case is this Open Manager. I'll talk about it in a second. It's just telling me there's a newer version of Android Developer. I can click and close. The version I have will be fine. Now, I have it very large, so I will slow it down so you can see it on the screen. Here is a sort of shrunken version of the Eclipse browser, IDE. One of the options you will see, and one of the things that you should notice, is that Eclipse sometimes takes a while to realize that it's connected. As you can see, everything has gone from these X's and underlined X's to a lot of blanks. You will see this go as well. This is common for Eclipse, so just be aware of it. Well, let's just say you're ready with this particular application. It's called the CalcUp, and you start it and the emulator starts up. Now, that's perfectly fine, but you want your phone to start it. Here's one trick you can do. Click on the actual project that you want to work on. Go up here to the play, do a little triangle, choose Run Configurations. Now this has to be only done once for your project, and it might be something that sets its default, but it's good to do it each time. What you will see next in a minute is where I will choose the target, and I will choose to ask it each time what I would like to run. Because of the fact that I've just loaded this, it takes a while, but no problem. Here's what I was talking about. In this particular example here under Calc, perhaps if you click on this, but definitely if you click on Calc, you'll see the word target. Click on that. As you can see in here, you can say always prompt which device, in other words, either my phone or my emulator, and or either automatically. Now, one of the things that I'm going to show you is if you go ahead and click on apply and run, one of the things they will ask you is, oh, do you mean this device? Because it's smart enough to realize that there's multiple devices perhaps connected. I don't have any connected devices, so you'll see an error in a second. But it's convenient to have it, you will see at the very bottom, there'll be an option to go default. So if you choose the device that you want, choose default, it will always run on that device. Now, one of the things that we noticed is that I had a bunch of emulators running, ready. Now, you do not probably. Here's how we set one up. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Right click on that little triangle. Let's go run configuration. Go to target. And over here, there's the option to go new. As I seem to have lied to you. Manager, I apologize. Click on the manager. Menu down, and then you'll be able to go ahead and click on new. I have all these different devices. You can ignore the one I have. Click on new and choose what you'd like. There are some defaults. So for example, let's say we want a Nexus 4. An excellent choice, by the way, for you. And you can choose it, and there are some defaults that set up the right phone for you. One of the things about the Nexus line is that they always seem to follow along with a particular version that's convenient. So you'll notice that the Nexus S is stuck at 4.0. The Nexus, that's not the size, that's the size over here, and so forth. Nexus 4 is an excellent choice. Nexus S actually has the latest version that most of the Android ones has it up there. It's a little slow, but it's a perfectly fine choice. Choosing it will show us which version of the Android we want. I don't suggest 2.33, I suggest 4.0. You don't have to go higher. I know there are many phones that do, but at least make sure that you have 4.0 or above compatible for your phone. RAM should be a little bit higher, even though you can test it at this low, but somewhere around 1 gigabyte, officially 1 gigabyte, should be plenty. 200 megabytes, of course, internal storage is fine, and you don't need to put anything here. We're ready to go. At this moment, we could go ahead and click on create. Now, I do have one already here, created, so let's go ahead. Oh, it didn't like the name. 4. How's that? No skin directed. Whoops. 4. Live. Go ahead and check on what particular, you can choose no skin, or just simply choose a right size for your screen that would fit. But no skin is perfectly fine. Click on OK, and I will have that list in 1 second once the computer comes in there. My computer doesn't need to like over that amount. No big deal. Your computer might be different. Alright. At this moment you will have, in a second, we choose the right thing. Oops, I'm sorry. Alright. We're having a little difficulty in here, but there's nothing we need to go ahead and, oh, emulate. Nothing you need to worry about too much. Everything here seems to be fine, and we should have had no problems with this. Which area I have it, there's nothing you will not have an issue with on your end. Regardless,